Hey everybody, it is your girl here, Genuinely Divine, coming at you today with a video all about love compatibility. Today's love compatibility is going to be Gemini man with Cancer woman. What happens when these two come together? The yins and the yangs of this relationship will definitely be revealed as soon as I return. Be right back. Okay, you guys, welcome back, and let's go ahead and let's get started on this love compatibility. Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac, ruling the third house, you know, the house of intellect, the house of siblings, the house of just short distance travel, just the house of communications. Okay, then you have Cancer. Well, Gemini is also the ruling planet for Gemini is Mercury. Mercury is a really fast moving planet, just a very smart planet, you know, just really youthful planet. Okay, you have Cancer. Cancer rules the fourth house. The fourth house is the house of the heart. It's the house of your home, your family, and tradition. And so it is ruled by the moon. The moon is the moon is not a planet, but in astrological terms and things, it is a planet. But the moon is very moody sometimes. The moon is very deep, is very emotional. So wherever the moon is placed, and whenever a moon is the ruler of a sign, a zodiac sign, it is that person tends to be very emotional. The moon is very intuitive also. So Cancer people can be very intuitive, you know. They are the type of people that are very receptive of what is going on around them. Okay, so what happens when these two come together? You have air. Gemini is air. You have Cancer, that is water. Gemini is a mutable sign. Cancer is a cardinal. So Gemini is the type of person that really just basically kind of like go with the flow, basically. Cancers are like the initiators. They basically are the type of people who like to take charge and just really be in control of a situation. Okay, so these two come together to create a romantic relationship. How does it work out? Well, first of all, Mercury and the moon can somewhat be at odds with each other. The moon doesn't have any enemies, okay? When it comes to the planets, it does not have any enemies. Mercury will be the one, though, that will probably give the moon just a little bit of a challenge. It can be challenging, okay? Because Mercury is all spinning and fast and youthful and just don't give a damn. And then the moon is just really, really slow and very, very steady. And just, I mean, it's constantly changing, but at a very slow pace. So you have Mercury moving really, really fast. So these two can sometimes, you know, be at odds with each other. Okay, the Gemini man and Cancer woman, I think that when they meet each other, Gemini looks at Cancer. Let me just say, Cancer people are just like, they have some type of roundness or some type of fullness to them. Even the skinniest Cancer people are gonna have something round. They're gonna have a really round face or really nice boobs or just a really nice little round body, you know? They just are so cute and they're so adorable. So of course, Gemini being air sign, not really the type of person that you can really just pin down. Geminis are usually very different, basically, and they can be sexy in their own way. And so of course, when Gemini sees Cancer with all of this nurturing looks, nurturing effects to her. Gemini was be like, wow, this is someone I can definitely be with. And after they have a conversation with a Cancer, this is nice because first of all, the third house is the house where you're actually developing who you are as a person. It's like the toddler house. You're a toddler. And then the fourth house, which is Cancer rules the fourth house, is like the following house. This is like how you learn to deal with your emotions and how you feel about your home. And home is not just four walls. It's just wherever your heart is, you know. So Gemini can be a little careless because they're young. They have a very youthful mind and their Cancer's heart is involved. So Gemini cannot understand how fragile a Cancer's heart is. So meeting them and talking with them, and they see how beautiful they are inside and out, they really want to be a part of this because this is Cancer is someone that can take care of Gemini. You know, Gemini likes to put their hands in a lot of different things. Gemini is, their symbol is the twins. So it's like one part of Gemini, one of the twins may want to be in a loving, long-lasting romantic relationship. The other twin just want to go out and just explore, put his hands on every single thing. Geminis are like the samplers of the universe. They like to sample things, and sometimes they can always be getting into things. And Cancers, on the other hand, are like the homebodies. They like to be at home. They like, you know, cooking, preparing meals for their families, just providing that really nice, comfortable living space for their family. And they're just very family oriented type people. So with Gemini always wanting to be out sampling, you know, touching everything, the massive communicator that just want to be a social butterfly, then it can sometimes cause some type of conflict in the relationship because Cancer woman is going to be left to feel like she have a husband or significant other that's more of a kid rather than an adult. So I can definitely see in this love compatibility, Cancer sometimes feeling like she's loved insufficiently, and Gemini really feeling like his Cancer woman is a little bit too moody. She overreacts about things. And both of these signs are moody signs. You know, Gemini have extreme highs and lows. Cancer is just moody because, first of all, in this love compatibility, you definitely are going to have some type of understanding. Without understanding in this relationship, it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be a very, very trying relationship if there's no understanding going on here, because Gemini have extreme highs and lows with their moods. Cancer up and down, the moon is constantly changing, so their Cancers can be very moody, and they're both moody. They can create frustration, irritation, and it's like nobody gets anywhere, because when Gemini wants to communicate with Cancer, Cancer is in her mood and goes into her shell. She don't want to talk, and then can be a problem, you guys. So definitely, you guys will definitely have to understand what's going on with each other to make this relationship work. Gemini is the type of person, they always getting into something. Geminis are bad. I'm gonna say they're bad, okay? Geminis are bad boys, bad girls. Like, they're the guys especially. So a Gemini guy is probably always getting into trouble like the typical kid, because they're, again, very youthful. They're very young-minded. They're very intelligent. Don't get it twisted. They're very intelligent, but they are, they're just the type of people, they just want to try every single thing, and trying every single thing can sometimes backfire on you, okay? Geminis are not really the type of people that really commit in a relationship really fast. Now, I am talking about super duper Geminis and super duper Cancers, because if you have other, if Gemini man has other stable placements, stable signs such as Virgo, Taurus or something in their chart, they can definitely be the type to really, you know, commit in a relationship and have a very long lasting relationship. This is just basically super duper Gemini, super duper Cancer, okay? But yeah, Geminis are the type of people, they like to be free. It's an air sign. Air signs do not like to be confined. They like to be free to basically do whatever it is that they want to do. In relationships, that doesn't work. In relationships, committed relationships, you can't just do whatever you want, because there's a certain level of respect that is due to your significant other. So it makes it difficult for Geminis. But once Geminis actually commit in a relationship, it's like they go in wholeheartedly. One of the twins goes in wholeheartedly, but the other twin refuses to do so. So the other twin will continue to explore options. And with that being said, sometimes they can get caught up in gambling. They can get caught up in just fighting all the time, or just cheating, or doing a lot of different things. But then Cancer woman is very receptive, very intuitive. She can pick up what is going on with her Gemini man. She may not know how to apply her intuitivity, if that's even a word, you guys. I'm always making up words, but she may not know how to apply her intuitivity to what is actually going on with her Gemini man, but she knows something's not right. So Gemini goes home wanting to communicate, be with his Cancer woman, and she's not giving him what he wants, and this creates confusion. So they can start arguing, or just some type of quarrel. The relationship can become quarrelsome at some point in time between these two, because one is very intuitive and can pick up what her Gemini man is or is not doing, that's not right, but may not know how to just directly say what it is. And therefore, she just goes into a mood. Gemini is feeling like, you have no proof of anything that I'm doing wrong, so what is the problem? You know, so these two can actually, I can actually see this relationship, this compatibility having some physical violence in it if they do not really establish that understanding and that common ground, because Gemini is quick to get angry, and they are quick to move. They're quick with their movement, and when they get overly frustrated, overly heated, they can just, like, before they know it, grab somebody or do something. And this is not just in their romantic relationship. It can also happen when they're just hanging out with their friends and they get into an argument. They just can be physical people. So definitely you want to watch that in this compatibility, okay? Also with Cancer, Cancer woman, she can definitely convince her Gemini man to really, when it comes to the family, the home life, Cancer woman can definitely get her Cancer man to, she can reel him in and get him to not go out so much, you know, being so social and just always out on the town with his friends and drinking and gambling and just hanging out all the time, and really come in and be a family man. So when Gemini loves his Cancer woman, he definitely will comply with some of the demands of his Cancer woman, and Cancers are really big on family. Cancers are extremely big on family. They trust their family's opinions, and they really rely a lot on their families. Geminis, on the other hand, are the type of people, they just really kind of like do their own thing. They don't feel like family need to be involved in their personal relationships. They do their own thing. They're free. They just do what they want to do. They really don't care so much about the opinions of others, especially not what their family want for them or don't want for them. When it comes to relationships, they respect their family and they love their family, but when it comes to their relationships, air signs are just like the type, I do what I want to do, and that's their nature, and in all actuality it's true. But Cancer is a little different. Cancers, when things are going on in their relationship, sometimes the moon is the representation of the mother, so Cancers rely on their mother's opinion a lot, their mother's guidance a lot. So when a Cancer is unhappy in this love compatibility, she can definitely be the type to go to her mom. If it's not a mom, it could be a really close relative or a really close friend that she is gonna go to and really talk to you, because Cancers need to talk. They're very emotional. They're the type of people, they just can't hold it in. They have to have an outlet, and their outlet sometimes is going to be talking to someone about it, and then they're going to talk to their family, and their mothers a lot of times can be a little biased. Mothers, friends, and family members can be a little biased, and then they're going to totally be against the Gemini men sometimes, because of the simple fact family love their family. They may like, you know, your significant other or whatever, but at the end of the day, their love and their loyalty is to you. And sometimes it can create some type of separation in the relationship of this compatibility. So my advice to you two, if you're in love with a Cancer woman, Gemini, and Gemini man, Cancer woman, if you're in love with a Gemini man, please, you guys, if you have relationship problems and you need to talk it out, you definitely need a therapist or a counselor, someone who's not going to be biased. You definitely don't want to bring your family into the equation. Unlike, you know, of course, if your Gemini man is really like pounding on you every day and just like you gotta go to a shelter or something, he really needs, yeah, of course, get out. But if it's just like the basic ups and downs of a relationship, you guys need to really talk it over, and you guys need to work it out between the two of you. And if you feel like you do need a mediator, you definitely need a counselor or a therapist. You do not need to bring family into the equation until it's absolutely necessary, and you know that this relationship is not going to be long term. Okay, so yeah, also like with Gemini men, sometimes with them being like samplers, always wanting to put their hands on everything, just want to experience every single thing, sometimes they can just lose focus on what's important, like being romantic. Like sometimes Gemini men, because they're detached, air signs usually love in a detached way, and so they don't really know how to be romantic with their Cancer partner. So Cancer again sometimes feel like she's loved just insufficiently. She tried to talk it over with Gemini. Gemini don't understand, because hey, I mean, I pay the bills. Gemini is thinking, I pay the bills in the house and I do this, I do that. So what more do you want? Gemini, Cancers are very, very emotional beings. They're not like you, where you can just be physical, like let's just say in terms of sex, where Gemini can be really physical and not have to show a whole lot of feelings during the physical act. For Cancer, it's more of a spiritual connection, you know, it's deep and emotional. And when your Cancer woman does not reciprocate that same intensity of spirituality or that emotional bondage during the act, then it can kind of like throw her off, okay? And I know you don't understand that, because you definitely have to understand your Cancer woman to be able to understand what she needs, okay? Geminis are not the type to send flowers and roses and candy and all this extra stuff. Now some of them can be, you know, again, takes more than just your sun sign to actually give you an accurate love compatibility reading. But just super duper Gemini, super duper Cancer, yeah, Geminis are not very romantic, you know. They're just like detached, you know. And it's like they're not the type to send flowers. They're not gonna be the type to just go and, you know, put rose petals all over the bed and things of that nature. They don't feel like they should have to, you know, because they feel like you have me. That should be good enough, you know. In all actuality, that is just the aura of air signs. A lot of them are like that, okay? But they can be when they understand each other, and Cancer explains to her Gemini man, this is what I like, this is what I need, you know. And then Gemini loving his Cancer woman, he will comply, he will oblige her needs and wants. So that's one good thing about this relationship. But this compatibility can be hard, it can be difficult. And my question always that I didn't ask at the beginning, is it a match made in heaven, or is it a match that heaven rejected? We're gonna continue on, and I would definitely let you know what my analysis is on match made in heaven or a match heaven rejected, okay? You know, with Cancer and Gemini men, when they are engaging in sexual activities, Cancer again is bringing the emotions, you know, she's bringing spirituality. It is so much more than just a physical act. You know, it is a connection of the souls. It is the souls conjoining and actually becoming one. Geminis are not deep like Cancers are. Geminis they're not in touch with their emotions like Cancers. Geminis is all about fun and variety. Gemini wants to explore your body, explore their Cancer woman's body. They want to just really, really enjoy the body. And on a physical aspect, Cancer wants to explore Gemini's soul, his passion, his emotions, and just really connect so strongly, like just so this is a very emotional contact. Sex is a very emotional contact for Cancers, okay? For Geminis, it's more physical. So in the bedroom, it could be really good, but it can also at some point go to the left, because Cancer don't feel completely fulfilled, okay? Fulfilled, all right? So Gemini, you have to be a little bit more passionate and bring a little bit more emotions to the bedroom. It can't just be a physical act, because you're not with a woman who are about physicalities. It's about love, because Cancer rules the 4th house. The 4th house is the heart. So everything that Cancer does, the heart is going to be involved, and especially when you guys engage in sexual activity, okay? Another thing, sometimes with these two, Gemini man with Cancer woman, sometimes these two can really have good times in their relationship. They can be the type, in the kitchen together, cooking food with one another, just really enjoying their kids together. But the mood swings of Cancer, the highs and lows of Gemini can sometimes dampen the joy of this relationship. They can spend more time trying to explain. Gemini can spend a whole lot of time trying to explain himself. Cancer is constantly trying to defend her Gemini man. It can just really just become a battle that is so not necessary when in a relationship, because relationships are actually supposed to flow nicely. It shouldn't be a whole lot of work. It should just be a natural flow, you know? We all have ups and downs. So anytime two people come together in a relationship to agree on one idea, then you're gonna have conflict. So no relationship is going to flow perfect. But a match made in heaven is one of those relationships where you guys may have your hiccups, but you never feel unloved. You never stop loving one another, and you feel, you know, you get over the humps and you just keep moving forward. In this relationship, it could create some type of depression for one or the other or both parties. And this, to me, you guys, is a match that heaven rejected. Now, please remember that any relationship can work, of course, if you guys are willing to be patient with one another, willing to just really try and understand each other, and just work together. But you know, a lot of times when you have to work at a relationship, sometimes it makes it very difficult because you're constantly having to think. It's like you have to walk on eggshells. I can't say this, I can't do this, I have to be this way, I have to be that way. It takes away the joy of a relationship, because relationships, you should be able to be you, and the relationship still flourish, and it's beautiful. You should be able to say what you feel, not what you need to say. And yeah, you know, so yeah, you guys, Cancers need to be with someone who are deep in love, deeply, like they love, like a Pisces. Another water sign would be good in my estimation, because Pisces is a go with the flow type sign, and then you have Cancer, who's mutable. So I mean, I'm so sorry, Cancers that is cardinal, Pisces is mutable, I'm sorry. And so, you know, I think these two, like, and Pisces love deep, and Cancer loves deep, and things of that nature. Yeah, you know, signs like that, Cancer and Libra, I think they would be great together. Also with Gemini need to be with other air signs. I think air signs are good for Gemini, like Aquarius or something, because Aquarius are kind of like the type, they don't want to just, like, you know, they're not all about commitments, and they're like all about freedom. So they can understand Gemini's need for freedom. They can understand Gemini's just wanting to explore everything, you know, because they can do it together. You know, they can definitely be the type of couple that will be an unconventional type relationship. But Cancers are all about conventional relationships. They are all about tradition. They don't like to move away from tradition. Gemini can be the type to move away, do away with traditional love, you know, traditional sex. They can do away with that also. But Cancers, a lot of times, they're very traditional, unless, of course, you know, again, they have very, very strong placements of personal planets in other signs. Okay, so you guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed my analysis of this love compatibility, and until next time, I wish you guys much love, peace, and many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful blessings. Bye.